Hello guys, welcome to Math Advantage. So in this lesson we're going to continue doing inequalities problem 5. So meaning we are going to solve the questions here in problem 5, right? So the first question says solve the following equations and inequalities and indicate your solution on the number 9, right? So the first equation that we have is the absolute value of 2x whereby is equals to 3. So how can we solve this? So the first thing is to remove the absolute values. How can we remove the absolute values? We remove the absolute values by having or by writing down two equations, right? How so? We are going to write the value the way it is. We're going to write the equation the way it is, which is 2x is equals to 3. This is the first equation. The first equation, you just write it the way it is, but then you don't put the absolute value. The second one, you write 2x, or you write everything which is inside the absolute field the way it is. Then you write your equals to. Therefore, you change the value after equals. You have to change its sign. Because it was positive 3, now it has to be negative 3. This is how we do it whenever we're given this type of question. Then now we solve for x. We're going to get 3 over 2. Therefore, x is going to be negative 3 over 2. Therefore, meaning our x values is negative 3 over 2 and 3 over 2. That's it for the first example. So now let's do letter B. Letter B, we're given 3x plus 5 inside absolute values, which is equals to 1. And also in this one, we do the same thing. To get rid of the absolute values, we create or we write down two equations. The first one, we write it the way it is, as 3x plus 5 is equals to 1. Then the second one, we write um, the equation inside the absolute value the way it is, which is 3x plus 5. Then change the sign of the values after equals. Because it's positive, therefore it's going to be negative. Then we solve for x, it's going to be 3x 1 minus 5. 1 minus 5 is going to give us negative 4, right? X is going to give us negative 4 over 3. And then here we're going to have 3x minus 1 minus 5 is going to give us negative 6. X is equals to negative 6 over 3 is going to give us negative 2, right? So meaning the values that we have is negative 2 and minus 4 over 3. That's it for letter B. Now we come to letter C. It's x plus 2, x plus 3, I mean, is equals to 2x plus 1. Therefore, inside the absolute values. Also on this one, we still do the same thing. We are going to say x plus 3 is equals to 2x plus 1, right? And then the second equation, the first absolute, we write it the way it is, which is x over 3 is equals to. Therefore, we need to change the sign of what? Of the second values, or of the second equation, or of the equations after equals, which is 2x. Let me write it here, plus 1, right? Therefore, when we solve for x minus 2x is going to give us negative x. 1 minus 3 is going to give us negative 2. Therefore, x is equal to 2. Then here we're going to have x plus 3, which is equal to negative 2x, negative 1. So you can see that we change these values. See, for x plus 3, here it is here. And then for 2x plus 1, we change the sign. It's no longer 2x plus 1, but then it's negative 2x, negative 1. Can you see it, how we change it? So it's the same thing, guys, so you don't have to get confused. So now we're going to have, it's going to give us 3x is equals to minus 4. X is equals to minus 4 over 3, right? So meaning the values that we have is minus 4 over 3 for x and 2. That's it. Then now we are going to see, to D. So let me just erase some few things here so that we can have space. Okay guys, so now let's do letter D. Letter D, we are given 2x plus 2x minus 1, x plus 1 is equals to 3 inside the absolute values. Also in this one, we still do the same thing. We're going to write the equation the way it is. Then on the second one, we write the equation inside the absolute value the way it is. Therefore, after equal sign, we change the sign. It's positive 3. It means now it's going to give us negative 3. Right? And now we can solve for x. We can say 2x minus 1, x plus 1. I prefer this method. Taking the straight to the other side of it. We equate everything to 0. And also here, x minus 1, x plus 1 plus 3, equate it to 0. Therefore, x plus 1. Therefore, we're going to get to x minus 1 minus 3, x plus 1. I hope you guys do understand what I'm doing here. If you don't understand, guys, don't be afraid to ask questions. Because I feel it's algebra, guys. It's algebra from grade 8 or 9. Therefore, 2x minus 3 is going to give us negative x minus 4 all over x plus 1. See, now we have the nice thing. And then now, in this one, it's going to give us, it's x plus 1. Therefore, 2x minus 1 plus 3 into x plus 1 close bracket 0. Therefore, it's 2x minus 1 plus 3x plus 3 all over x plus 1, which is equals to 0. 5x, we're adding the like terms, plus 2x plus 1 is equals to 0. And now we know that we have negative minus, because remember in this step, if I didn't explain it, after arriving here, right, what we usually do after equating everything to 0, guys, the step that you're going to do is you're going to say minus x minus 4 for the numerator, you equate it to 0, and also x plus 1, you equate it to 0, right? And then now we can see that x plus 1 cannot be equals to 0, because if we say x plus 1 is equals to 0, that means this equation is going to be undefined. So meaning we are going to cancel this one. So now we solve for x. It's negative x is equals to 4. Therefore, x is equals to negative 4. Then now we come to 5x. We do the same thing. It's 5x plus 2. We equate it to 0. And also, x plus 1 is equals to 0. But x plus 1 cannot be equals to 0. Because if it's equals to 0, the equation is going to be undefined. Right? Then now we solve for x. 5x is equals to minus 2. x is equals to negative 2 all over 5, right? Meaning the values that we have for x is minus 4 and minus 2 all over 5. That's it for this question for letter D. Now we come to E, where now we have inequalities. We have x minus 4 inside the absolute values and 1, right? How do we remove the absolute values? We know that we have to write down the two equations. X minus 4. The first one, we write it the way it is. The second one, everything inside the absolute value, we write it the way it is. But then remember now, it's no longer equals to, right? So if it's no longer equals to, it's either greater than or less than, we also change it and we also change this value of the sign. So meaning we're going to have greater than, because we have less than here, then we're going to have greater than minus 1. I hope you guys understand. Then now we can solve for x. X is less than 5 and then x is greater than, it's going to give us 3, right? Then when we represent it in the number line, going to have negative infinity, then here it's positive infinity, we have negative 3 here, and we have 5, right? So for, it's 3 not 5, I mean it's 3 not negative 3, I mean. Therefore from here, okay, let's start with 5. It's an open interval because it's only less than, not less than or equals, so it's an open circle which goes to which side. Because of this sign of less than, it means it goes to this side, right? And then we have x is greater than 3, which is here, and then it is to go which side. So can you see that they are going to clash each other? So surely the values that we have to use is 3 and 5. So meaning the values is going to be 3 and 5. That's it. I hope you guys understand it. If they clash each other, you just choose them the way they are. As you can see, like they are going to meet. So meaning we have to focus on the values between 3 and 5. That's what we did. So now let me just erase some few things here so that we can continue. Okay, we can now continue. I'm not going to do F because it is the same as E, but then I will upload the solution for it, whereby I wrote even the steps, and also G is the same thing, and also H, I'll upload them, and also I, J, let's do K. K is 1, X. So if you check it's my first video for inequalities. You know, whenever you have this type of question, the first thing that you do, you have to apply that method of, let's say you're given A, Q, and B, right? You know that the first thing that you need to do is to separate them. How so? You're going to have A, Q, and then aside you, B. This is what you're going to have next. So let's do it here. We're going to have 1 is less than or equals to the absolute value of x, and then also the absolute value of x is less than or equals to 4, right? We can write this one in the correct form. We can write it like this. That is the same thing, right? That is the same thing. You can write it like this. So now, what do we do? How do we remove the absolute value? We know how to remove the absolute value, right? We have to create or to write down two equations. So meaning we're going to have x, it doesn't change anything. Second one, it is the one that changes. It's going to be x, which is less than or equals to negative 1. Remember this is 4, Yeah, for -1, right? Then we are done. And then with this one, we also do the same thing. The first equation doesn't change. The second equation changes, and also the sign changes to -4, right? This is how we have to write it. Let me just erase here so that we can, because I think I've made, yeah, it's better now. So now, what do we do after here? We have to draw our interval. To draw our interval from -infinity to +infinity. Therefore, we have -4 here, we have -1, we have 1, we have 4. See how interesting this topic is, right? So now, let's start with x is greater than 1. X is greater than 1 and or equals to 1. Here it is here. And it's a closed interval. Where does this going greater than? It means it has to go to this side, right? Therefore, x is less than or equals to -1. Where is it? Here it is. It's a closed interval or it's less than. It means it has to go to the negative side, right? Then now we are done with this one. Now we come to this one. X is less than or equals to 4. Where is 4? Here is 4. And there's a closed interval. It's less than or equals to 4. Can you see what's happening? Can you see it's slashing with what? With 1. We'll come back to it. Therefore, x is greater than or equals to -4. Where is it? Here it is. It's greater than means it has to go to this side. Can you see also that it's slashing with this one? So meaning we have a closed interval from -4 to -1 union closed interval from 1 to 4. You guys see, remember that these two they are going to clash here, so meaning it's 1 and 4, and they are what? The closed intervals. That's why we use this format. And also for -4 and -1, they are going to clash again. Can you guys see it? So meaning we're going to have -4 and -1. That's it for K. So now let's go to let me check. You can do I because already K and I is the same thing. Let's do M. Let's talk about M now. M is 2x minus 5 is less than or equals to x plus 4. We do the same thing. Nothing has changed. I'm going to write the equation the way it is without the absolute values. X plus 4. The second equation, it is the one that changes. But then the equation inside the absolute field, it doesn't change. We know that. Therefore, the sign has to change. Minus x and also minus 4. We have to change the signs of every value after the absolute values, right? Then now we can solve this. It's going to be x. It's going to give us 9, right? And then this one is going to give us 3x. And when we take 5 to that side, it's going to give us 1 minus 4 plus 5, yeah. Therefore, x is greater than or equals to 1 over 3, right? So let's represent it in the interval. Start with the -infinity to +infinity. Therefore, we have 1 over 3 and then we have 9, right? So where's 1 over 3? Here is closed interval. Where does it go? This side because of this symbol. Then what about 9? the closest interval also, where does it go? You see that they're going to clash. So meaning we're going to focus on these values. So meaning we have 1 over 3 and what? And 9. That's it. That's it for M. So let's talk about let's do O, the last one. Let me just erase so that we can have space. Okay, let's continue. The last one, which is O, is 2x minus 3x all over 1 plus 2x is less than or equals to 4. Nothing has changed. We just follow the same procedure, the same steps. We are going to have 2x minus 3x all over 1 plus 2x 4. And the second one, we know what we have to do. We write everything inside absolute value the way it is. And now we have to change. It's going to be -4 and greater than or equals to, no longer less than or equals to. And then now we can solve for x. 2x minus 3x 1 plus 2x minus 4 is less than or equals to 0. This is how I prefer to write it. I prefer to write it this way, guys, because it makes things easier. Right? Therefore, 1 plus 2x. This is how I solve for x most of the time. So you can just try this method and see whether it will work for you. But then I think it is the easiest method. This one I'm using here. Minus 4 minus 8x, right? I'm not going to explain this one because, guys, you know what you're supposed to do. 2x minus 3x is negative. Oh, there is negative 8x here. So BODMAS, so don't do a mistake. You can use BODMAS. It's going to give us negative 9. Negative 9x, right? Then minus 4, 1 plus 2x, 0. Then here we have 1 plus 2x, right? Let me do this and be correct. Is 2x minus 3x plus 4, 1 plus 2x, 0. Therefore 2x minus 3x plus 4 plus 8x greater than or equals to 0. 1 plus 2x, right? Solve for x. 2 minus 3 plus 8, 7. 7x plus 4, 1 plus 2x. So when we are in this step, you know what you're supposed to do, right? So you're going to do the thing of negative minus 4x is less than or equals to 0. And 1 plus 2x is less than or equals to 0. Right? So you know what you're supposed to do after here. That is the same thing that you're going to do also on this one. So that's it for the today's lesson. If you find this video useful, kindly like and subscribe. I will also send the solutions for all the questions that we did, or all the questions here in question 5. I'll send those the solutions. I'm tired. Even the English is running, guys. Yeah, thank you.